And we're back. Big Red in the morning. Big Red going live, doing the damn thing. Hopefully, it's not fucking up. Hopefully, we're not having AIDS. I would really hate to have AIDS. I gotta get the new computer. I gotta get the new computer because this machine is littered with AIDS. There's just AIDS from top to bottom. Big Red in the morning. More like lots of Big Red in the morning. More like lots of fucking AIDS in the morning. um yeah, where was I? Anyway, can I have some fucking money from you guys? No. Yeah. We are vibing out strong today. Hey yo, Moldy Toad in the chat. Lou in the chat, do it twice, make it nice. Yeah. Dude, I try to make it nice every day. Sometimes the streaming gods don't want it to be. Now you know what it is. And I'm sure I've said this a couple times already. It's just in my current form, it's been a thing I've been trying to avoid. And it is getting to the point where it's hard to avoid it. It's getting to the point where it's hard to avoid. But we will bear. We will figure it out. So Nate is really engaged. Yes, he is. Nate is super duper engaged. And everyone, please, again, if it does fuck up again, please let me know. The delay is very irritating. I've done it before. You ever get a delay on a porn video? That's brutal. The delay on the porn video is actually brutal. I've just, you know what it is? It's just sometimes you're if I can be so bold and say, sometimes you're jacking your shit. And you know, you just jack your shit. Got his ass. What's his name? Got his ass. Yeah, dude. So you guys may be you guys may be familiar with this. On occasion, you might be, just like jacking your shit. I'm a big fan. I'm trying to do it less right now, but regardless, big fan. Big fan of jacking my shit. And then yeah, whatever's going on in your head, just and how she's looking in the vid, it just makes sense. And you're just watching that like, wow, this would be a perfect pair up with Jack and my shit. And yeah, and I remember watching it one time. It had the delay, and I felt the same way. Toad. Porn delay is rough. Andy, have you lost weight? Are you buttering me up? Are you buttering me up right now? You about to fucking anyway. Thank you. No, I cleaned up actually. I think I got a haircut. Well, you couldn't really tell that with the fucking you couldn't really tell that with the beanie, I guess. But yeah, I cleaned up. I touched up my beard immensely. And then I might be losing a little bit of weight. You know what it is? I have the gut is crazy on me right now. Or at least it's what I'm hyper fixating on. So I don't feel like I'm losing weight, but it might just because I freshen up. And also I angle the camera so These look like pecs and not titties. A little beard trim too. Yeah, yeah. I trimmed up the beard. I think I just look more presentable right now. I need to be better about that. I'm just a walking to quote Green Day. I'm a bit of a walking contradiction because like I'll have like dumb shit in my head because it's just I think it's I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I game plan my life because I'm fucking lazy or some shit like that. But not game plan. What am I trying to say? No, there are certain times I like make up things in my head, or I don't know. I don't know because now that I'm realizing this, it's now making me process other things differently. But no, well, I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly because like sometimes I'll think about doing all this stuff. Like I said, like oh, getting a haircut and and shaving your beard and getting nice shoes and looking presentable, and then there's something. It's like that deep seated. It's like that deep. I don't know. I look at stuff like that and just go like that. That's some fucking gay pussy shit. It's weird. It's weird. I'm very new school man on certain things, and I'm very old school toxic man on certain things. Like, I think the way we look at men crying is a bit silly. I think to this day, like, obviously, the job of the men is to keep it together and but there's certain restrictions some guys have on crying and showing emotions that I find silly. And it's like, dude, it's the what are you a fag Bill Burr joke where it's like you just have that mindset and it's like that's how a man gets a hunchback at 65 because he's just been holding back all those feelings and stuff like that. And so like I have like there's certain like I think it's a lot of times with emotions. I'll have very news because I'm a guy. I try to be. I'm a guy. I'm a man. I have a penis. I try to be a fucking man as much as I can be, but I have emotions, and I've learned ignoring them and trying to not feel them and push them down and not. It turns you into a psychopath. Like I talk to some of my friends who try to do that, and they do stuff, and they'll be like, that's just how I am, though, and you'll be like, that's actually really sad, man. It's really sad that you don't let yourself do that. And then when you meet a nice lady and she likes you for you, so you get to be a little bit of a Frieza in front of her and she doesn't lose respect for you. She still fucking, is respectful to you and treats you good and stuff like that. It's nice. You get to feel like a real person. You don't get to feel like you don't have to act all day, every day. So it's like, I think the modern sort of or I don't even know if it's mod because there are certain things though where it's like I don't know. I'm a good like right in the middle guy because I think a lot of times too with like there's some guys who look at emotions and they're like I should feel everyone and I should be a huge fucking because it's like you need like it's not about this is like my thing about like crying in front of a girl or like showing emotions or whatever. I think the thing is like if the girl knows you can defend her when shit gets rocky, if she's not like afraid, if she's around you and shit gets weird, she needs to feel like she can trust that you got her back and you can defend her and you can get her out of that situation. Not even strictly defend her. Like, obviously, they want you to defend them physically, but like, yo, this dude's got to be smart and be able to keep me safe in these situations, whether it is physically defend me or, do the cost benefit and just get me the fuck out of there or just make sure I'm not in those situations ever. All variations of all those at the same time. And then two, they just need to like know you can like blow their back out. And I know I'm like being kind of like, it's kind of a funny statement, but like, I mean that with my whole chest. They need to feel safe around you and they need to know you can blow their back out. And then like, as long as you got that, like all the emotions are like, kind of wherever you want them to go. Like, obviously you can't cry over dumb shit, but it's like, dude, if you hit a cry over some like real shit, that's just going to be more attractive. Brother, I've gotten some pussy post crying. You know what I mean? Cuz it's like the emotions are high. Everyone's feeling a lot of feelings. Everyone's feeling a lot of feelings. You know what I mean? Like that shit's good. What the hell? Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. The Bigsby? How about the fucking Bigs Bitchby, you little fucking you get out of here. Fuck you. Me and my hoe got matching Glock. She finna get double slimed. That got me a little hard, dude. Not for nothing, Lou. I think you helped it move. Funny but true. Those are really all you gotta do, dude. For real, like that's what I've learned. Because I have my moments where it's like, dude, you guys know I like emo music. I like emotional shit. I like to. I don't like this. It's like, wow, I love some of my friends, but sometimes it's like it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. We don't have it like we don't have emotions. We don't it's like, nah, dude. I need to feel shit. I grew up as a fucking pussy liberal. You know what I mean? That's where I cut my teeth. I need some emotions. I need to feel shit. But I like all of it, dude. I like all of it. Sometimes I want to be a toxic man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This doesn't even feel like toxic man because this just feels, I don't know if this is toxic man or not, but like armpit hair, psychotic. Like literally, not even just like, yeah, I'm not my preference. Psychotic. I don't know. Chicks I'll spaz if you rip ass in front of me. And I understand how that comes off being this disgusting. I get that, but those are my rules. Those are my non-negotiables. Metrosexual. Remember when they tried to make that a thing? Yeah, you know what it is. You know what? Like being a dude is basically like I'm being kind of tongue in cheek, but the metrosexual represents. I feel like this can be taken real out of context because I got no hate for gay dudes. Gay dudes fucking rip, But sometimes gay dudes don't. Sometimes gay dudes don't respect the fact that you don't want to be. You don't want to be fucked in the ass by them. That sounds fucked up. No, because like there's some, not all, obviously not all, but there's some. It's because I've joked about this before. Some of the worst things in the world have happened because gay dudes don't want to get out of the fucking closet. Go look up Lindsey Graham. Go look up. I mean, brother, go read. What's the fucking book? Whitney Webb, One Nation Under Blackmail. Go read that shit, dude. It's all about just. It's all about just taking advantage of gay dudes who don't want to be found out. So like that's kind of there's millions of just regular gay dudes just chilling, but it's when you start getting into nefarious gay stuff. That's when it's bad shit. So every straight dude has had that thing where they've had a gay friend, and I've had a bunch of gay friends that don't try nothing, but I've also had my pocket of gay friends that'll be like they'll make like a sexual joke and they'll be like, I'm just kidding, but if that one time you turn to them and were like, yeah, dude, you can fucking suck me off or fuck my ass, they would trip over themselves to take advantage of that. So there's that. There's that element coming from, and it's a minority. I'm not saying it's all gay guys, but it's the gay guys that are going to get into fashion and put like weird standards on female beauty and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when chicks point to fashion magazines and they go like, well, look at these standards on women. And you're like, those are made up. Those are those are made up by gay dudes and other women. So, dude, literally, if you're a woman watching this, and I know there's a lot of women watching this, if you're a woman watching this and you give your man pretty good head at least once to twice a month, You can do whatever you want, dude. Like literally, you can dress however you want. You can act however you want. But if you gave him like pretty good head or fucked him pretty good once or twice a month till the end of time, most men would just be like, dude, whatever you fucking want. So this whole like, oh, you gotta have this anti-aging cream, this fucking you gotta wear this special thing when you go out. No, that's just lady that is lady and nefarious gay propaganda. That's what that is. It is lady and nefarious gay propaganda. And it's the nefarious gays. That's really what it is. Because I don't want to pin this on all gay dudes because it's not. Because I've had a bunch of God, I've had a lot of gay guys in my life. No, no, I've met a bunch of gay people who are fucking chill. It's just there's something that happens. There's something that happens when you get gay dudes in the closet or you get gay dudes who are just like, what if I act like the most annoying woman you've ever met? It's those ones that I'm like, you guys aren't chill. You guys are not chill. So that's where like the metrosexual thing comes. Like, here's the new thing for men. What if you sucked cock? And you're like, that's weird. Why is that trying to be why is that trying to be promoted right now? So the metrosexual shit is nefarious gays. And the reason that the nefarious gays and the women combo is so treacherous is because there's something about women just go fuck. It's why drag queens are so popular. And I got no beef with drag queens. I think it's kind of funny and cool and a good time on occasion. Me, I go do that. Why not? It's fun. It's fun. It's gay guys better at being women than women are. It's a fun time. But no, so like it's like you have these nefarious gays and they turn women into the little fucking minions. And they just set up these like weird again, going back to the beauty standards in fashion magazines. Because here's the thing about women. It's Andy U SXBU. We often forget beauties in the eye of the beholder, and boy, oh boy, am I watching a specimen. Hell yeah, dude. Cletus trying to fucking turn me. Dunbar. Couldn't have said it any better myself, brother. Go ahead and be a drag queen. Just don't be a drag queen. God damn, Dunbar. No, okay. Actually, whoever said metrosexual, that's the best example. He's like, you get nefarious gays tricking women into thinking they're like, what if your man was a free? God damn, I was about to hit I wanted to hit a hard double G there real bad. But it really is like the metrosexual thing is like, hey, ladies, you know how your guy's straight and eat your pussy? What if he was a freezer? What if he was a little fruity bitch? You're like, and then women are just like, because women, and you guys know I love women. Win. I have been delivered. Win. Women are beautiful. Women are great. You put them in roles to succeed. You stop lying to them about this girl boss bullshit. Not saying there's not ones that fuck with the girl boss shit. But if you just like understand, they all have OCD and anxiety and they like to organize shit. You put them, this sounds so sexist. But no, it's the same thing. It's like, it's why men in all these like, feminine office jobs doesn't work. And then when you try to be like, what if women worked on the rig with men? You're like, or like, what if ladies were cops? And you're like, well, that's going to get more people shot. So let's kind of avoid that. It's just the sexes have their positives and negatives, and they're better when they lean into those and work together. So love women. When they're good, they're great. You know what I mean? Absolutely love women. Shout out women. You bring life into the earth and you care for us. And you're just beautiful creatures. But they have this thing in them. And if you want to deny this, you're a liar. And if you want to deny this, you're just a liar. Yeah, I don't know what other women have this thing in them where, and I think it's Tommy Pope, metrosexual final boss. That's not, Tommy's not a metrosexual. Sorry, it sounds like I'm fucking, do not say that about my man, Tommy. No, see, this is the problem. This is the problem is like when you see, we've also hit a bad, it's guys like me who've convinced themselves, shaving a little bit and taking care of themselves is gay. And then we just have an army of slobs like me. So then dudes see a dude like Tommy and they're like, Tommy just got born late. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm 35. He's at least like 10 years older than me. So like Tommy just should have been born in the 50s or 60s. He just got born in the wrong generation. That's just the dude who takes care of himself. You know what I mean? That's not metrosexual. Metrosexual is like, yo, what if you were a fucking pussy? Wouldn't that be cool? But no, the thing I was saying earlier is like, is women, and if you're denying this, you haven't met women. You're just a liar. You haven't been in a relationship. And I think it's like a survival instinct to just make sure to like keep their dude in check to make sure, because here's the reality. The elements of the world are not biology. There's a good argument that God hates women. There's just the shit that happens to them in their body and the shit that they have to like go through and shit like that. Seems like God's not a fan of them. Just hates their pussies. But also, too, they're just naturally smaller and weaker. So they need they need to feel safe. And if they don't feel safe with their man, they're going to lose attractiveness. They're going to leave them, whatever the fuck. They're going to go find something else. So like, I think there's this like built-in mechanism in ladies' brains where they go like, I got to make sure this guy's not a bitch. So they're just constantly like testing you. They're just constantly testing you. It's why like ladies, and this is me giving them glass half full benefit of the doubt. Because if it's not, there's just, we might have to, if it's not this, then we may have to institutionalize all women. We may have to bring back crazy houses. Because that is, by the way, and I'm being funny, but like, that joke's based off real shit where people treat women where it's either like women are either like the most beautiful, unique human beings that just do no wrong, or they're a retarded baby. And there's like no middle ground on the way people judge women. And it's just like because that's what happens when a bad thing happens to a lady. They'll be like, well, they won't say it, but the standard they'll lay out is like, well, I mean, how would you do that to a retarded baby? And you're like, oh, I wouldn't. And it's like, so then you're treated like a dickhead because, like, I saw some video yesterday online where the lady was like getting out of her car, and then the husband was like, you don't open your door. And then she's like, oh, but I'm like an adult, so I'm going to get out of the car. And then her son's like, get back in. They're being cute and funny about it. And then it's this thing of like, women don't open their doors, men go to open their door. And it's like, or they're just like a fucking chick, or they're just an adult. Like, I don't know. Some of the chivalry stuff, and I'll get back to the fucking metro shit. I'm real bad at getting sidetracked. I apologize, boys. Some of the chivalry shit is also like, I don't know. They're not like a retarded baby. So I'm like, if I get out of the car and they're taking, and she's like having trouble, I'll go over there and get her door and help her out. Or like, obviously I'm going to do shit. Like, if there's a puddle, well, even the puddle stuff. Oh, I'm supposed to get my entire jacket wet, or we could go 3 feet that way and go around the puddle and not be fucking retarded. There's a lot of chivalry stuff that is like, so here's the thing, your gully is a bit of a dum-dum, so you're going to have to help her through the day, but also, I don't know, I went British, I guess. I meant to go old timey. So here's the thing about it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of chivalry stuff is like, well, so your girl's gonna be a little retarded, she is. So you gotta make sure you keep it good. You're like, that's stupid. You guys are talking about straight edge. Oh, but yeah, the last thing the last thing I was gonna say about the so it's that's why the nefarious gays and the lady combo so like is a treacherous combo because ladies, and it's like a biological instinct, they try to test you at all times. They'll hit you with like insane shit. They'll just randomly say fucking mean stuff or stupid or just stuff that doesn't make any sense or shit like that, and they'll just hit you with that, and you have to like figure it out and deal with it or whatever the fuck. And then or they'll try to they'll just try to do shit. They'll just try to get you to do shit that they don't realize will be like, "Oh, your pussy will dry up." They like test you on shit, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Like the other day, my wife got this like water bottle. It's not. I've talked about it on it's on the pod that comes out today. Um, I guess she got it's the one that looks like the Stanley Cup. You guys know the Stanley Cup, not the hockey award. Um, the water cup. Yeah, she got one of these. She got one, not this actual Stanley Cup. She got one of those, and so she was like, "Do you want one of?" I was like, "Oh, that's a cool cup." And she was like, "Do you want one of those?" I was like, "No, it's a girl's cup." I was like, "I can't have that. It'll make me look feminine and shitty and stuff." And she's like, "It's not a girl's cup. It is a girl's cup." And I'm like, "It is a girl's cup." She's like, "No, it's not. You're being stupid." And that this is what they do. You just hit them with something where you're like, "No, I'm 100% right." And it's not bruh called the greatest trophy the hockey award. Yeah, I don't know. Be more I don't know. Hey, how about you tell hockey to convince me to give more of a shit? I know the name of the fucking fuck, what is the super actually no, do I know the Super Bowl trophy? Yeah, fuck your hockey. I'm sorry, I'm being defensive because you tried to come at me. Yeah, fuck your hockey award. Um oh shit, did a bunch of little fairies on the ice fucking win the who gives a shit award again? Suck my dick. Lombardi, that's right. I was gonna say Heisman. Heisman is nah, you guys need to all jokes aside, we need to as a society, like how when you leave your job, you stop giving a shit about the job? You need to treat sports like that. Like you got to clock in and out of sports because that's the problem. Is sports is reprogramming you to be a fucking or sports is trying to program you to be a fucking dumb monkey retard so you can just go along with whatever the government says. You need to clock in and out of sports. The game starts, you clock in, you be a fucking stupid mongoloid, and then because it's fun. I've been in that shit. It's so fucking fun. But when you're out of it, you clock out. People got to clock out of sports. Like no bullshit. You know me, I'm not a sports ball guy. I'll fucking, who I'll lay my jacket down for? Saquon Barkley. Fuck my wife, dude. Saquon Barkley's getting that jacket. Like I love that shit. But like the whole concept of my team doesn't do good, I'm sad all week. And I know, like, literally, and I know that's not everyone, but like literally, if that's you, dude, fucking figure it out. Figure it out. Yeah, this right here. Lou, you little fairy. Damn, Red, you must be gay. Yeah. Cause I'm not a fucking see, I know we're fucking around, and I'm fucking around too. But for real though, like the way that they got sports fans brains scrambled like that. That's so funny. Um Wait a minute. Where is it? Here we go. Random boner check. Let's see them, boys. I'll go first. Check. I'm super hard. Yeah, no, like this shit. Nah. You typed it, pussy. You fucking typed it, Lou. You pussy. Nah, but for real though. No, I'm not. No, Lou, I'm not talking about you, dude. I'm talking about other fucking stupid losers who have no life who get obsessed with sports. Not you, Lou. Come on, man. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the people you're acting like, reminding me of. Just huge fucking losers. Nah, but for real though, that actually kept me from I'd find you are gay. I know, Lou. And I fight it every day. No, but for real though, that's actually a big reason too why I abstain from giving a shit about sports. Is like the people who represent it were very irksome. They were very irritating. Nah, because it's like, here's my thing with sports. Have fun. It is no less gay than anything else anyone else likes. Because it's like, brother, have you watched people do fantasy football? You might as well go play D&D. And then, you know what I mean? Like sports fans call me a pussy. You know, sports fans would call a dude like me a pussy for liking fucking professional wrestling. And it's like, you idolize 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? And you're tracking them since they were children to see how their bodies perform. You know, it's like, you know, so that's my thing with sports fans is like they try to act like their thing is less gay than anyone else's thing. That's my only. And then it's like, and then you guys get 10 times more passionate about it. And it's actually, if we're really going to get down to it, it's substantially more meaningless. Because it's like with wrestling, I got a show. It's a TV show. I got a TV show that's a fun night, and it acknowledges that it's stupid. You guys are like, you talk about the team like you say us, we, them, things like that. And then you're basically sitting there being like, you know, we got to do this. And if we win the Super Bowl, I'll feel great. And it means a lot. Like, oh, what it means to this. And you're like, nothing happened. You know what I mean? Nothing happened. You just move the ball around. And when, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. It's fucking admirable how talented and hardworking those dudes are and stuff. But you're like, you know, nothing actually happened. And also, like, you know, I mean, it really is a lot of like, you know, the stripper really likes me. Shit like that. So that's why I in no way shit on sports. I love watching sports and getting emotionally invested and having a fun time. It's just a lot of sports fans go a little bit too far outside of it and make it a way bigger deal than it actually is. And they try to, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like you know, it's the equivalent of if you saw a big fat guy. Like, imagine if I came up to you and was like, man, dude, you've been letting yourself go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just a big fat guy who drinks too much. Who the fuck am I? It's like that. It's like, you guys know you're morbidly obese too. Anyway, got off on a sports rant. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was talking about the Stanley Cups. Why was I talking about Stanley Cups? I have Stanley Cups over here still. I was talking about Stanley Cups. And oh yeah, my wife was like, you need to get one. Oh yeah, that was the last part of that one. That was the last part of that one where it was like my wife, I told my wife, I was like, Google girl water cup. And she did, and that cup came up. But anyway. Yeah, it's just, you know what it is? The pretentious nature of sports fans is very mind-numbing. It's very infuriating. That's all it is. I fucking dude, football's cool. Football's cool to watch. And honestly, the more I've been learning about it, the more I've been learning about football, the more interesting it's becoming and all sports in general. But like, you know what the irony is? Obviously fans in the stadium yelling and things like that matter and blah 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 and this and that, but it doesn't like the irony is it's like it doesn't really matter that you're there. And actually it matters completely that you're there at a wrestling show. So like it that's like the ultimate irony at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of franchises like you're mad about like there's like how bad have the Jets been for a while? Aren't the Jets like the shittiest one of the shittiest teams right now? They've been horrendous for a while. Doesn't matter. You guys keep going to that game. It's like if wrestling gets real bad, now obviously a lot of wrestling fans will still watch, but it'll not get as it won't be as good of a fucking time and people will tune out and go try to check out other shit. Like, I mean, less with WWE because it's so big, but actually, honestly, now if WWE gets shitty enough, more people are just gonna go, well, fuck it. I'll go watch AEW and shit. So that, and you know, but it's more apparent on like indie wrestling programs. It's like, yeah, you run an indie company that sucks ass. No one's gonna fucking go to it. Yeah, aren't you're more sexy this time, Andy? Thank you, dude. Would you get a Yeti cup? I don't know. Are Yeti cups girl cups? Nah. I don't like well, actually, you know what? I'm looking at the Yetis right now. I know I know Pat has this cup, not that color, but Pat has this cup, so he's a girl, so there's that. I would get the if I had to go back to like a if I had to go back to like a regular day job and shit, like working in a warehouse, I'd probably get one of these cuz these Yeti cups were nice. I had a Yeti cup like this one. I had a Yeti cup very similar to this one, and I actually would put the coffee in. I would actually the Yeti works so well that I would throw like an ice cube into the coffee cup to like cool the Yeti down or to cool the coffee down. Cause like, dude, that shit, like a Yeti like this, your shit's gonna stay hot the majority of your shift. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The whole water cup thing, the whole water bottle thing is like whatever to me. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. For some reason people at my work think Yeti is for men and Stanley is for women. I think Yeti's for it. See, Yeti is very similar to Carhartt, even though Carhartt's getting like bogarted by the hipsters. Cause Yeti is very functional. Yeti just because the Stanley Cup's just trendy looking. That's why it's for girls. The Yeti Cup is very useful to like real world functions. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Yeti does sell the beer koozie. The Yeti beer koozie kind of rips. I haven't gotten one, but I've seen them. Yeah, dude, shit like this. Yeah, dude, the Yeti beer koozie fucking rips. The Yeti beer koozie rips. What's the verdict on water cups? What are you saying? Drink water out of a plastic cup? I got in college. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's I feel like that's how you're supposed to do it as a man. You just drink out of a fucking cup you got for free. I'm trying to find the one. I had one that felt right. That felt like you were supposed to. That's what you're supposed. Yeah, these are the options. Yeah, here. You get this. You get the 6-pack of Gatorades. That's what you're supposed to do. You get a 6-pack. I'm trying to find. Where's the one? Yeah, or you get some. You get something like this. You get something that like. Um. Yeah. Yeah. This is this. Because if it's convenient, it's not manly. It has to be impractical. It has to be impractical. Something. Now I don't like all these colors. I mean, that's kind of fun. It has to be like it has to be low grade and practical. Like that. That's the water bottle you get. You you unscrew it, you pour it, it's wide mouth. It falls in awkward because it's too big. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you have to get. Did you say hydro flask? Yeah. Can't have something about the straw I don't like. You should get a big inconvenient thing. Pause. That's the type of water. That's how you drink water in this society. Hmm. Anyway, sorry. I got a very touching text. Buy a surplus canteen and drink out of it, out of something that almost certainly been pissed in. Yes. What about thermos? What are thermos? Is that the name of the brand? Oh, like a thermostat? No. Wow, that was stupid. That was very stupid. I just said thermostat. Yeah. This is inconvenient but practical. Here's the thing. Manly things have to have like 2 to 3 uses. So something like this, you could put coffee, water, soup. It has to have like multiple uses. It can't be like very specific and niche. Cuz the less practical the less broad practicality of what you has, the more feminine it is. I'm being yes. Yes. The masculinity is determined entirely by how hard you can grip that shit. Classic Stanley Thermo? There's a Stanley Thermo? Oh, is this like old school? Oh, has Stanley actually like been around forever? I'm not too up to date. I'm not too up to date on my. Yeah, this is a good question, Lou. Who the fuck puts fruit in the thermos? Insane business. I think they're trying to advertise it to the women that are going to buy it for their husband. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Yo, Mr. Sentiment, calm down or you're getting fucking blocked. That was crazy. That's a crazy comment to hop in. Yeah, I didn't realize Stanley's been I didn't realize Stanley's been in the mix since day one. See, that's the problem, dude. Too much shit gets bogarted because it turns into a fashion accessory for the gals. Damn, this shit looks nice. Yeah, sentiment. That was nuts. That's your one warning, dude. um, yeah, dude. Shit became, you know, everyone talks about how stuff now, like if you look around like uh like an old school McDonald's, it always comes back to food for me. Yeah, dude, like an old school McDonald's had a lot of personality to it. Pizza Hut had a lot of personality to it. God. God, the fact that you yeah, this is kind of the point I'm making. It's like this is what all restaurants look. This is what all fast food chains look like now. Pizza Hut, McDonald's. It looks like a fucking this just looks like a dog shit beer garden. You know what I mean? Just some stupid beer garden where you like walk in and it's just fucking a bunch of fucking nose rings. Um yeah, dude. The oh my god. It just all looks so bad now, man. But I think and it's like the same thing. Here wait, if we go back to these Stanleys. Like this is specifically like an old school aesthetic. And I think and people are like why do things look shitty now? And I think it's just because like you hit a point of efficiency where so like it's not everyone always tries to look for conspiracies where they don't need to. And I understand like I'm the conspiracy guy. But like I try not to look for them where they're not. And I try to go with logical explanations when that is much more reasonable and shit like that. And it's like when people are talking about how like shit today now looks really boring and uninspired, it's cuz in my opinion, it's cuz everything's so easy to make. You know, and it's like back in the day, you're like, "Oh, I can only make so many of these water cups. I can only make so many of these Stanley classic vacuum bottle with handle." You know what I mean? I can make so many of these legendary vacuum insulated Stanley containers. So like you have to because of that, because you can only make so many of these, you have to be mindful. Oh, what's in my fucking oh yeah, I wanted to buy Tragedy and Hope the other day. um it's because you want to so you're saying it's a dystopian slop factory. But here's the thing. Part of the reason you get the slop is because the slop's so easy to make. And now that they use the slop to their advantage, sure. But no, back in the day, you couldn't make shit as easily. So you had to make something that lasts. You don't have to make anything that lasts right now because they'll just give you another one if it fucks up. You know, you'll be able to, but no, back in the day, it had to be you had to like this had to be good for a while. And if it wasn't good for a while, people wouldn't buy your shit. And also, if I'm going to have something for a while, I'm going to find something that looks good. So there was just much greater incentive for shit to look good. Because like I don't know, like I'm just looking at I have these headphones on. Like when I'm streaming and stuff, I want to, I got these mics because I like, they're good sound, they're a cheap product, but they look good. I think the whole with the podcast aesthetic, having this type of mic is beneficial. And then I literally just I was like, I remember when I bought these headphones, I literally typed in, I go, what headphones does Joe Rogan use? I'll be straight up. That's so it's like in this avenue, aesthetics are really important. when I'm getting headphones, because I know you can buy new headphones for fucking $20, and I lose and break headphones all the time and shit like that. It's like, I don't give a fuck what my headphones look like. I don't give a shit. So it's like all that stuff can just be whatever. The problem is when you get certain things that are mass produced that are like, are another problem too, and another problem too in modern life is like a lot of things are disposable. It's like the way they look at shit, you know, a lot of things are very disposable. They're like, we'll get this the fuck out of here if we need to. We'll get rid of this. We'll fire these people, get rid of this shit. We've created a much more disposable existence that it goes. Oh my God. It's like, well, it's like I used to work at Uline. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you if you work in an office, most of you guys have ordered shit from Uline. But it's basically, if you don't know Uline, it's very similar to like how you order shit from Amazon, but it's much more business oriented and shit like that. But like at Uline, when you would quit, they would just walk you out. When you would quit, they would just walk you out that day, because it's like you can do more harm to the company if you just don't give a shit. And like, that's the thing. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm out of here in 2 weeks. I'm just not gonna fucking give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's this thing of like, that's like the general vibe with a lot of stuff nowadays, is people are just like, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like your attitude towards stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I saw someone talking about this in a video. Imagine if there were no phone cases, how you would treat your phone. You know what I mean? You'd be substantially more careful with it. But the phone cases, I don't know how it happens. Every time I get a fucking phone case, sorry, funny group chat. Every time I get a phone case, I go to Walmart and I get the like $20 phone case, and it's the one phone case I have the entire time, and it's chill. I don't know how it happens, but I do. Here, wait, let me pull up the chat, because there's been a lot of good comments that I actually want to jump back into. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see over here. I'll do speed comments just over here. My phone has been caseless for years. I didn't shatter the back of it. I did shatter the back of it this summer, though. Fell out of my pocket while I was getting into my car. Yeah, I unfortunately don't learn my lesson. I've tried to go phoneless. I've tried to go caseless in the past, and it never ever works out. It never is good for me. Planned obsolescence is what it's called. I think that's a big part of it with a lot of shit, 100%. I also think too, it's like, yeah, we could just get a new one easily. It's like when you get the insurance on a rent-a-car and you don't treat it as nice. I think that's part of it as well. I think it's a multifaceted, like anything, there's multi-layers to it. I don't know. I'd prefer not to be inside a McDonald's at this point anyway. Yeah, ultimately stay away from it. It's not good for you, and it's going to make you feel bad. But it's just, I remember hearing Tucker Carlson talk about it, and I don't think it's as like planned out as he implies it to be, but like there is something to the fact of, if your surroundings are nice to look at, you'll just be more positive and feel better. So when every fucking building has this boxy, I don't know what it would be called, brutalist feel to it. Yo, Dunbar, how do you get my ass so consistently? Andy being completely unaware of the word thermos is hilarious. if I can defend myself, I am a very I'm very in the moment on certain things, and I don't think all the time. And so, as what happened before, I said the thing and then I immediately corrected myself. So like you're there's not a huge filter going on. So just you know how you guys quietly think things and then say you don't say every dumb thing before the actual thing? Well, I don't have time for that. I got to go through every dumb thing and then I get to the actual thing that's less dumb. But yes, goddamn Dunbar's comments got deep. A lot of companies give Yetis as merch freebies. My employee does. It's not even a manly industry. Yeah, Yeti's ripped, dude. Oh, thermos is like gel. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Stanley's rip. All right. That chat was a lot of cup talk. Let's go back to the panties chat. It's pronounced thermos. Oh, is that why he's calling me fucking stupid? Thermo. Oh, it's pronounced thermos. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I've earned that. I've earned that. I just make things like that anymore. Well, Cletus, if you meet me for longer than 5 minutes, you'll find out all I do is think. All I do is think. That's my problem. I can't stop thinking. I'm not saying all the thinking. I can't promise you all the thinking is quality thinking, but you can say a lot about me. Can't say I don't think. I think too much. That's the problem. That's the problem. No, that's not brutalist. DC is brutalist architecture and it looks good. Okay, it's not brutal. I'm not super familiar with the architectural terms, so yeah, whatever it is, it's bland and boring. Land Rover was always famous for shitty electrics. So they decided no more electrics. The old Defenders were designed so the average guy could fix it if he needs to. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what is done why, but whether it's intention, I always talk, it's like our government's response after 9/11. Whether they planned that shit or not, they got what they wanted. So, and it's worth finding out, but it's worth finding out what the truth is 1000%. But then there are some times where you just gotta well, if I'm being literal, I would love to find out specifically what happened during 9/11, how it happened, what was pre-planned, yada yada yada. But like broadly, more philosophically speaking, it's like, if you get the same result no matter what, you got to take that into account and game plan the future in a certain type of way. Now, we also pronounce it thermos. A beautiful mind. Yes. Yes. This is the way we categorize what I am. I just have really crazy smart autism, but it's going so fast. It's just hard for my human brain to process it. Damn. Have I never typed out the word thermos? Oh. Thermos is interesting. Okay. You know what? You know how sometimes you just never see a word typed out? Interesting. Oh, would you look at that? Yeah, I may have never actually seen the word thermos typed out. That's interesting. Huh. Look at that. Big dumb idiot. You learn something new every day. That is brutal moments where you see a word and you're like, what the fuck is that? That's so funny. All right. I'm gonna throw something on and make another cup of coffee. Coffee. Okay. You know what? Let's do the tried and true. I'll throw you a quick JRE video while I make another cup of coffee.
Experience.
Why don't they release that fucking list?
Oh my god, don't.
Huh? I don't mean to divert this to the Epstein list. I just meant to ask you, isn't it weird?
It's a little odd.
What's going on? I keep thinking, what could be in that?
By the way, sidebar, immense respect that Duncan to this day gets Joe Rogan to dress up in whatever outfit he wants him to. I always respect Joe Rogan's willingness to be silly. All right, I'm going to be right back.
List. What's in there? What bit of information is in there?
Well, here's the thing. Like the list it's probably they don't have like a list in terms of like you have to sign up when you go to the island. You know what I mean? Like, but they know the flight logs.
Right.
Like that's all public knowledge, right? Isn't it?
All I know,
but it hasn't always been public knowledge in terms of like when people want to investigate things. Like if you go on a plane, so if you fly on a private plane, which most of these guys do, you tell everyone knows who's on the plane. Like you have to give your ID. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like I have to give my ID all the time even if you're on a private jet. So they know who's on the planes. They know. Like there should be a flight manifest, and like, they probably save those. And like that, the fact that, and no one's saying that just because you went there, you didn't do it doesn't mean you necessarily did a heinous crime, because I think you can't just have it chaos over there. I bet it was a real good honeypot where there's a lot of sophisticated intellectual discourse. You got a lot of brilliant people there. You've got great music. You know, you got like famous people are hanging around too. Yeah. It seems really cool. And then, if there's blackmail, the blackmail is like snuck into all this.
Yeah.
Snuck in, come to the room with the cameras. And next thing you know, you're doing cocaine. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But, you know, you never get to an island.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this very often. I mean, I'm so busy with my CEO job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
And then next thing you know, you're donating money to whatever the fuck they tell you to.
But it's like, how many senators just voted against releasing this shit, man? It's just it's like there's two votes that are happening. The UFO disclosure thing, they keep voting against that.
Yeah.
And the Epstein list, they keep voting against that.
Right.
What? And also politically, it can't serve you to talk about a bad list. The list of people who said let's protect people who like have done horrific shit to kids. You don't want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51 to 49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51 to 49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party lines, with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh, wait, not both sides. It was the Republicans voting against this shit.
It says 2 Republicans joining the Democrats in supporting the amendment to defeat it. So why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's ask. No, I think this is saying that the Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't.
Okay.
And party lines. Let's ask Perplexity, why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was going to. There's Eric Swalwell, who's, I guess.
I read it wrong. Read it wrong. No, okay, so the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans fought against it. Okay. I fucked that up. So 51-49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
Well, so then they've been, not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some, but they're in recess, Congress is. And so this, Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true, but.
It's coming to an end, guys. I've spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they confided that Trump's movement support is fading. As one told me, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a pedo protector. It's just a matter of time, Swalwell said in a thread. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts, he added.
So they said, this further goes on to say that if they get back, that this is the first thing on the docket, and that's sort of what's holding them back in recess right here.
Wow. We are watching wild history in real time.
Dude.
This is a wild scene.
Oh my God, dude. You don't want to, did you listen to Martyr Maid's episode on Epstein?
I've listened to it.
Woo!
I didn't finish it, but I get creeped out by that guy.
It was the creepiest few fucking weeks.
Did you ever talk to Weinstein about him? Weinstein met him.
About Daryl?
No, Epstein. Weinstein.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about that. I think he's just such the best.
I love Daryl too.
Okay, cool.
About Epstein, he met him.
Dude, what the fuck? What did he say it was like?
He said he had a girl on his lap while they talked. The girl was like 21 years old. And I think he said she was Asian, I don't remember. But he said she was really beautiful. And she was sitting on his lap, and he was bouncing her up and down while they were talking. So they're talking about finance, and her boobs are juggling. So he goes, she wasn't underage or anything. She was a woman, but she was sitting on his lap, and he was bouncing her around, and her boobs were bouncing in his face while they're trying to concentrate on whatever the fuck they're talking
Some
about.
David Lynch shit right there, man. That's some David Lynch shit.
Yeah.
Just jiggling boobs in front of you, like, wow. That is so fucked up.
And Eric said, like, right away, his vibe was that this guy was a construct. Because Eric is all like,
what do you mean construct? What do you mean construct?
Like a fucking agent.
Oh, right.
He's like, this guy does not come off as a financial expert at all.
Right.
And Weinstein is an economist.
Dude, it's just...
Well, he's a mathematician, right? He worked for Peter Thiel. He was just... Can you give me some of that coffee, brother?
Yeah, sure. Peter Thiel.
I think he was a math teacher.
Math teacher.
It's my Palantir hat.
And then he became whatever he became.
Well, he's not a dumb dude at all. And if he thinks the guy was fake, like right away, that's his instinct. Like initially, I think the problem is a lot of those guys wanted him to be real because what fun. You get to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody thinks it was kids. And there probably was a lot of that because
Definitely.
I don't know what the actual accusations have been because the wildest thing about the Ghislaine trial is like she went to jail for trafficking to who knows who. The fact that you could just put her in jail and who'd you traffic to? Like none of that gets out in the trial at all? That's crazy. And they do it right in front of your face.
That's fucking...
Yes, dude. That's why I like Rogan. They're doing it right in front of us, guys. Mind control via tits. Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell is the toitest human trafficker. The toitest. What are you guys talking about over here? Weird shit in the sky. Flood the space, too many drones and too many phenomena to be sure about any of it. Side versus side. Lou, where the fuck you been? They do it right under their They do it right under their noses. That's very fun. I did want to give a little update. So I did want to give a little bit of an update. So I was talking on yesterday. Because Slav hopped in the chat. Hey, Panda Ridley. Is that Mike Ridley? Is that Mike Ridley from Radio Ridley? Or is it Radio Ridley Radio? I think it's Ridley Radio Ridley. Whoever it is, Panda Ridley, thank you for the follow 11 minutes ago. I will touch you. Government can't stop me now. Anyway, I was talking yesterday a bunch about Nick Fuentes, and I saw him on Dave Smith's podcast, and I was hoping actually Slav would stay in the chat today because I wanted to bring it up and readdress it. Sorry, I'm out of it. I fucking went to go get coffee and now my momentum is off. But anyway, Nick Fuentes was on Part of the Problem yesterday. I watched it. I listened to it. It's 3.5 hours. And as you guys saw yesterday, my reaction to it was less than stellar. Now, I said before, it's not like I wasn't like, oh my God, Dave, why are you interviewing this guy? That's why I respect the hell out of Dave, is he interviews people that people go, you're not supposed to interview him, because it's like it's kind of Dave's role. Well, not that specifically, but you know, the type of political commentator he is when he's got his political commentator hat on. It's like, you know, he's a type of guy who's like, you know, we're gonna talk to the people we're not supposed to talk to. Not even like the people we're not supposed to talk to, but just like if it's culturally relevant, if this is the culturally relevant boogeyman right now, well, I'm gonna talk to him and see what's up. And honestly, that's why the whole they're giving a voice to, I forget what their wording is, but it's like, they're giving a voice to bad people, or they're platforming. That's what it is. When Fuentes was going off on, I saw someone comment that earlier. Fuentes was going off on Shane. I saw him saying something a while ago, but I can't remember what it was. No, that's what it is. Platforming. That's like the terminology that I find so fucking stupid. And the mindset too is just so fucking stupid. Cause it's like, no, if someone's like the culturally relevant, hot topic, and they're whoever like the Voldemort is, they turn more into a Voldemort the more you don't let them speak clearly. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's kind of what happened listening to the podcast. I was like listening to it, and like my whole thing on Nick Fuentes, and this is what happened during the podcast, is like Dave interviewed him. He was like respectful to him. They had a calm conversation, and like, you know, at no point did he make him feel defensive. And he goes, "What's with this?" And they had like 2 or 3 up top. What's with this? Nick Fuentes explained himself. You know, kind of sounded like, you know, Dave was asking him, why'd you shit on me during Candace Owens and all that whole thing? And he just kind of sounded like an immature little kid. And then there was like some other stuff. They talked about the racial shit. He just sounded like a dumb guy obsessed with, like, on the racial stuff, he just sounded like every other dumb guy in every other race who's obsessed with that specific thing. And this was the part where still not a big fan of Fuentes, because like I said, you know, or like, what was the thing I was saying? Where it's like you get like 2 things, you get like 3 things with him. You get like 3 things with Fuentes. You get a lot of standard opinions that I hear the people I like say all the time. You know, whether it's like, and he's right about, like, when he's not sitting there going, this was the line Dave kept bringing up that was cracking me up. When Fuentes is not sitting there going, Hitler has aura, he's usually making a good point about fucking Israel or something like that. And then it's like, but then he starts, you know, just categorizing it as all Jews. And it's like, dude, as long as he's not, you know, talking about the Jews specifically, or he'll say like some racist shit, or he'll say things like Hitler has aura. I was like, so you get that. And it's like, when he's not doing that, He's got a lot of like decent opinions, but I'm also sitting there just being like, yeah, but they're like easy opinions to have. It's like Dave even brought it up about Pierce Morgan, who is better now. And this kind of coincides with how I feel about Nick Fuentes. It's like, okay, so the thing I remember Dave was saying about Pierce Morgan when like a year ago, Pierce Morgan was saying stuff about trans shit or whatever. I forget exactly what it was, but it was like the most, like if you're in the circles, if you're sort of like wading in the political waters. Andy gives us all a platform to be hateful. Thank you, Andy. No problem, Cletus. It's what I do. I give a voice to the people who deserve to be voiceless, and that's you guys. But no, it's like I remember Dave was shitting on Pierce Morgan like a couple months or like a year ago, maybe a little longer, where he was like coming around on some like trans issue that had been like obvious for fucking years now. It's the same reason why like Anna Kasparian is like kind of annoying. Although I like Anna Kasparian because she's sort of revealing a lot of insights on the progressive mindset. But also at the same time, she's like, so have you guys thought about this? And you're like, yes, we've thought about that for a while now. You know what I mean? So there is that, there is that element. But at the same time, with all those people, my thing is like, I want shitty people to be good. Now, if you've been really shitty, it's going to take me a minute to fully go like, yeah, you're on our side. You're good. You rule. Da da da. If you've been, and that's kind of like my thing with Nick Fuentes is I'll give him props because in the interview, like Dave was talking about, saying the shit about being a little flagrant and being like saying things like Hitler has aura, where it's like, I'm not being it's like I'm not clutching my pearls over it. I'm just saying like there's a level of maturity with how you conduct yourself that it's like me, it's like I'm not going to cry about, because that was the thing about Fuentes that was annoying. He was like crying that no one takes him seriously. And it's like, well, stop doing all the fucking shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't really, I personally don't cry too much about people not taking me seriously because I'm not trying to present myself as this like strict political commentator. I'm a funny guy. I call you gay for liking sports. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's like I'll talk about wrestling. I'll talk about sports. I'll talk about TV, music, film, pop culture stuff. And then, just because, everything's political now, I also talk politics. So it's like but it's like if you're just a political guy and you want to be taken seriously or you're going to cry about being taken seriously, it's like, well, you're doing all the fucking immature edgelord shit. So it's like, I don't get like, are you fucking shocked? Are you fucking shocked? You know what I mean? But then I will give him, because like I was laying out very clearly the things that annoy me about him. It's way more because like you got dudes who are just say racist shit. They just say edgelord shit. They say, they deny the Holocaust, things like that. You can like, it's like you write them off. It's just with him being taken seriously and then people being like, dude, he's like a top intellectual. And then I just see clips of him and he just acts like a fucking, a worse version of like a 4chan troll. It's just like unimpressive. He has this bitchy energy. All the stuff. You guys know, I was talking about it yesterday, all the reasons that he annoys me. It's like way more about that and stuff like that. But then if he's on, doing the pod with Dave and he's acting very respectful, and it's like, dude, there were parts where Dave was kind of like very politely going in on him. And he just let Dave talk the whole time, let Dave finish, and then he gave his response. And they had a very respectful conversation. And then towards the end, he's freely acknowledging how immature he can be. And he's like, he's like, in the past year, I try to be better. And I go, all right, that's good. But here's my problem is like, you still have your like dog shit history of how you behaved. I'm sorry. That sounds super condescending. I apologize. But it's like, you have this dog shit history of how you acting like an edgelord and stuff. So I applaud him for being like, I want to suck less ass. But forgive me if it takes a little bit before I fully like, trust you on stuff. Cause it's like at the end of the day, no matter what you're saying, you're still gonna fall back on that like fucking annoying I don't even know I don't know what to call it exactly, because I don't know if like white supremacy is it exactly, or I don't know. Because I don't think he wants like an ethno state. It's like I don't know if it's that exactly. Whatever it is, it's like if you fall back on that of just like, well, because that's the other thing too that irks me with, because he always just falls back onto like the white identity shit. And it's like, I get it too. He's younger. He grew up in a time where it was the popular thing to be like, yo, you're white, you're a little fucking bitch. And there's a lot of people who have resentment towards that and stuff like that. So I get being fucking butthurt about that shit. But just like, falling back on like, well, you look in these areas and it's mainly white people and it's fine. And you look at these areas where there's not a lot, and you're like, okay, well, let's just ignore all of U.S. American history. You know what I mean? Like it's the same beef I have with all the conservatives are like, black people just don't know how to behave. And you're like, what? Because the city, like what? Because black people in the cities are committing crimes and stuff. And it's just like, oh, you're just going to ignore the fact that like we've abused and impoverished this one sect of this population. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then the fact that they have like, they believe all that and then lack any compassion and they claim to be like the religious ones and stuff. It's kind of annoying. Are you guys making clip art jokes in the chat? Like, so that's like my thing is it's just like, I get really annoyed. I get really annoyed with the hyperfixation on race. But I will say this about Fuentes. It's like, it was the same thing when like everyone tries to call Sam Hyde racist and he talks about his white people shit. And you're just like, dude, I got to be honest. I know it's supposed to be 10 times more spooky when a white person does it. But like, I mean, dude, you could have Sam Hyde and Nick Fuentes be completely interchangeable with anyone who's race obsessed in any racial background and makeup. So like, and then that part of it makes them substantially more, like that element of it makes their whole thing substantially more boring to me. And it's why, like, is everyone just spazzing over white edgelords? You know what I mean? So, but I do hate the edgelord shit. But yeah, I guess I gotta give I'll give Nick Fuentes credit. He's where he's good. He's better and more well-spoken than I realized. And he seems like he's trying to suck less ass, but he still falls back on like that white identitarian shit that I just find exhausting. And like, I don't know, just like, it's these, it goes back to my thing I always say. No one wants to fucking learn economics. And it's like, if you are, and I'm no fucking expert, but if you're in these fucking spaces and you talk about the world and how the world works and where problems come from, and you're just going to sit here and go like, well, black people are just like that. And we're not going to learn about fucking economics or government intervention and how they affect different socioeconomical groups and all this other shit. It's like, obviously there's personal responsibility. I will acknowledge that. But like on the flip side, if we're just going to not learn economics, sorry, I'm trying to be better at just ignoring retarded comments. That'll just get me sidetracked. Not even retarded comments, just comments that'll get me sidetracked. Because whenever I talk about these things, there's always very, pardon my French, very faggy dudes. Keep up the jokes, Clippy. Andy loves it. Yeah, I do. If the clip art, or what is it, the paper clip guy, talk about doors, wooden doors or something. What's the joke? No, I'm trying to be better at ignoring comments that will get me completely sidetracked. Just bad faith comments. Anyway, either come to Jesus or don't. That's the Who's this? Is this on the Panties channel? I just find that interesting. Is that the Panties channel? Are you on the Resin? Are you on the Panties or the Big Red channel? I can't tell. Because if you're on the Big Red channel, that makes a little sense how you're talking. Because I do post things that attract guys that act this way. But anyway, yeah. I would, like I said before, with the Nick Fuentes thing, I will applaud him for trying to suck less ass and be more mature. But like, if he's just gonna fall back on the whatever it's called, white identitarian shit or whatever the fuck it's called, I don't know the exact term, but if he's gonna fall back on that, it's like, it's what I always say. Just guys, take some time to learn economics and how the government really intervenes and fuck shit. Okay, you're on the big. Okay. No, it's just whenever I get comments like that and it's on the Panties channel, I'm like, really? It's just you're a fan of a podcast with two black guys, huh? It's not. I'm not saying it's not to. I'm not saying you're racist because nothing you commented makes me think you're racist. Oh, that sucks ass. Oof. That's worse than typing out the N-word. Oof. Continue. You just typed out continue? I don't know if I can let that slide. Yeah, I don't know if you can just type continue. Yeah. Yeah, that's here we go. Here we go. 10-minute timeout. That's crazy. Continue? Continue? You're going to type out continue? Oof. I can make a big deal out of it, but that's I mean, you might as well just fuck my mother in front of me. Well, Lou gets to do it because he's been here before. Continue. Sorry, I got no. Resume is funny as well. It's the well, that's the joy of you guys being in here quite often, is I know your energy. Sorry, that gave me douche chills all over. That gave me absolute douche chills from top to bottom. Continue. See, that goes back to the thing. And now that dude's gonna watch this and go like, I got him triggered. Which fine, feel that way. That's fine. It's just, you know what it is, because he does this. He's doing the same thing that remember I said I wouldn't let this comment turn into the whole thing. Remember when I lied? No, you know what it is? It's the thing I was saying to Slav yesterday when he fucking spazzes, which that's gonna be please pontificate further. You guys are hilarious. Please pontificate further. Embark further on your goal. No, it's not bad. It's okay, I want to give everyone credit on their good ones. But please guys, let me have a thought. You know I can't pay attention. No, it's very similar to what I was saying to like Slav yesterday, where it's like, if you actually like care deeply about these issues, to spaz in someone's like Twitch or YouTube chat, and then like you're gonna behave that way, you're like, do you actually like care, or do you just want to try to like bitch up people? You just want to like, oh, that's how Like, do you actually care about your issue, or are you just trying to have a temper tantrum? Are you just trying to have a temper tantrum so you can just be like, I'm just gonna be a cunt to everyone? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the game plan? Acting like that, just being a fucking cunt. Like, dude, there's a lot of fucked up things said in these chats. And you guys know I fucking roll with the punches on a lot of shit. There's something about just going like, continue. You're like, ugh. Ugh, it makes my skin crawl. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Andy knows the color of my energy. Well, that's the other thing too. People do that a lot. It's why on like Twitch, I'm hesitant to set it to the politics tab. Because I do this because it's fun. I don't like to like fucking Slavic man being hot-headed racist in what world? Well, his name is technically Runaway Slave, which they didn't let him do that for obvious reasons. But I say Slav because it says Slav. And like someone was like, you know, his name's not Slav, Andy. I go, yeah, I'm not gonna say slave every day. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say slave like that. Oh, let me double check. I could be better at like looking up current events and having stuff to talk about. If you guys ever have videos or anything like that you want me to talk about, always don't hesitate to send them my way. Don't hesitate to send them my way. This shit's getting exhausting by now. Just like all the APAC stuff. I saw this clip. Matt Gaetz seems like he's like, well, I don't know if I have a future in the government like that because of the way they fucked me over. And he seems to just be like, I'm taking everyone out, as many people out as I can. Randall Carson has a new Atlantis theory. Well, let's fucking do it.
Initially, I resented the fact that there was no appreciation for nuance. Like if you asked any questions about any decision of the Israeli government in any place regarding settlements, regarding Gaza, whatever, you were like, you had deviated from the script. And I just, in any policy area, I had resentment over that. And then I saw the way the APAC worked, and that was weird for like a country lawyer like me. I remember my first APAC reception, and like your fundraiser tells you have to go, and your chief of staff tells you have to go, your committee chairman all tell you have to go, and you get there and you wear this name badge, and I remember there's a QR code on it, and what we were supposed to do was go talk to donors, and then if they liked you, they scanned your QR code to make a donation like on the spot. And so can you just imagine how demoralizing that is to like be told that your job for the next several hours to go chat people up, hoping they would scan you like a can of tomato soup on the way out of the meeting.
I mean, it's literally purchasing.
Right. And so I saw that and I was like, wow, that is so freaking weird. And then, I was in Israel. I went multiple times, and I did not like the fact that I found someone in my room rooting around in my stuff that should not have been there at the King David Hotel when I came back to my room when no one was expecting me to be back in my room. And I just
presumably Israeli law enforcement.
I don't know who it was. I just thought, like, this is weird. All of these things combined are odd, and then the policy outgrowth seems to be an obsession about the Middle East that has not served my generation well. I just don't. Initially,
Hell yeah. Kind of racist Slav, but I like the idea that black people in Atlanta are the true Atlanteans. So wait, is it should I watch this one? Because I was on his YouTube channel and there's like a bunch of like really long videos that I don't know if I'm not gonna have, you guys know me, I'm not gonna have time to watch all those. It's hilarious. 3-1 Atlantis. Is that what we're talking about? I don't know a whole lot about like what his. Nah, that's your mama. Goddamn. Fuck. I don't know a whole lot about Atlantis. Oh, Jesus, what's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing, Jesus? Okay. I'm at the Strait of Gibraltar. The ancient pillars of Heracles lay the threshold between the Mediterranean and the boundless Atlantic. Classical texts describe islands beyond the strait, one greater than Libya and Asia combined, a gateway to a vast continent across the true ocean. Today, the Azores Plateau makes that hidden landscape its peak, last visible remnant of a world once above the waters. What? I just saw this. I'm not big into Atlantis. Oh, okay.
Okay, so what we have right here is the Straits of Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar, flanked by the pillars. That's the pillars of Heracles, which mark the gateway between the Atlantic over here to the west, the Mediterranean over here to the east. And there were actually islands in here that are now sunk.
Wow.
So anybody sailing west through here would have come to islands. And there was an island situated in front of the straits, which are by you, called the Pillars of Heracles. The island was large.
I don't know if I have anything in my brain for this. Wait, what's this 3-eye Atlantis? Oh, this is Atlas. Oh, fuck. With the Atlantis and the Atlas, I was mixing them up. Yeah, let's look at the. I probably dyslexic. What, dude? I think I might be a little dyslexic. I fuck words up like that. I'm no good with the words, guys. I'm no good with the words. I'm no good with the words. Yeah, I've been hearing about this fucking meteor. I got to be honest. I don't know if I think I ignore the meteor stuff cuz I'm always like it seems like it never ever hits us. But this one seems weird. Someone was telling me about it and it seems weird.
If you haven't heard, our solar system is currently host to a strange and intriguing visitor.
Because what I heard is it like the way it moves. I was talking to my buddy about this the other night. The way it moves is odd. It like speeds up and slows down. It's odd. Did I miss the Fuentes Smith reaction? Yeah, actually, quite literally. And I didn't plan it that way, but quite literally, I stopped talking about it around the time you hopped in. But yeah, I don't know. The meteor stuff. Well, it's like, here's my thing about the meteor stuff. Is like, it's very similar to how people talk about, like, when people say they care about climate change. And then it's like, they're like someone like Greta Thunberg. And she's like, climate change will kill us. I'm sure she's one of those, like, climate change will kill us in 20 minutes. But if the more topical thing is Israel-Palestine, I'll go work on that. And you're like, do you care about? And then it's like all these people about climate change. They talk about how scared they are. And they're certain that, like, you know, it's like a Bernie Sanders, like the world will be uninhabitable in, you know, our children's time. And you're like, you think that? Because what's that, like 50 years? You know what I mean? Like, give or take, maybe more, maybe less. You think the world's going to be uninhabitable? I don't know. I think we'll be good, dude. I mean, I'm not saying it's not that I'm saying climate change isn't real. I'm just saying, like, based off of their rhetoric, based off the rhetoric and how they behave, I don't know if climate change activists truly believe what they're saying. Almost not to poke fun at Slav, but you know, he makes himself part of the stream. Why not indulge his needs as a man? But it's like when Slav is like, don't like black people, and then he'll be like, anyway, here's some very deep knowledge about R&B music from the 80s, and here's a song that no one's ever fucking heard, and I think it's amazing and you're like, I don't know how racist you actually are, dude. And it's like the same thing with like most of wait, what? Hey, that's my meteor buddy. Be nicer. It's a really funny comment. And it's like the same thing with like all the climate change people. I'm like, I don't know if you actually like think, I don't know if you like believe what you're saying, like with your whole chest. I think it's just like it. I think it's like these, like there's these like subconscious it's like there's these signals throughout society that you go like, because all that matters now is being a good is like the quote unquote like right side of history. And so like whatever, and I don't know how this gets determined, but like whoever determines like what the good and bad thing is to be, it's just, there's just a flock of people of like, I just want to feel like the good guy. That's all I care about, is that short-term reward of feeling like the good guy. The same thing about, it's just me going to get fucking cheeseburgers at McDonald's. I just want to feel good right now. And then you eat it, and then you feel good for 5 minutes, and then and everything just keeps going to shit. It's actually very similar to me getting cheeseburgers at McDonald's. I'm now realizing this. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with like the meteor shit. I was like, have we done anything in case a meteor comes? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Has anyone really put any effort forward to be like, well, we got to do, it's like, well, in case meteors come, it's like, this is what we should do. And it's like, no. And I'm like, I will say that maybe just like, maybe we don't have the technology. That's also an extreme possibility. Maybe we just don't have anything remotely close to the technology, but I would imagine something. Like, I don't know. Because it's like, it is a thing too of like, as I'm saying that out loud, and this, by the way, this is what I was saying earlier, is I'm kind of like, a lot of these ideas, I'm figuring them out in real time. So give me all your grace and don't be mean to me ever. Let's talk me. Oh yeah, that is a good. Yeah, we should. Wait, where's the comment? It was a very funny comment. Where's the comment? We should really dive deep into being meteor. Wait, no, this one. Yeah. St. Culp, you've been killing it on the comments, brother. We should look into being much more meteor. And I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Because maybe I'm being a little too harsh. Because like with the meteor stuff, pause, it is probably like, what the fuck are we going to do about it? But then at the same time, like, well, then stop wasting my time with the meteor shit. Be like, oh, by the way, meteor's going to kill you. Okay. I can't do shit about it. What the fuck am I going to do about it?
Comet 3I Atlas burst onto the astronomical scene in early July 2025, when it was first identified by the NASA-funded Atlas Survey Telescope, or Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, operating in Rio Hurtado, Chile. Since then, scientists around the globe have assembled to collect every scrap of information they can get about this elusive entity, leading to a flurry of articles, alerts, papers, and controversies about the first interstellar object to enter our cosmic backyard in 6 years. But amid this media frenzy, what have we actually learned? What information about this comet is true? And what lies in the realms of science fiction? I'm Alex McColgan and you're watching Astrum. Join me in this video as I give you a much needed update on 3I Atlas, piercing through the noise and getting to the heart of what makes this visitor so special. just in time for its 30th of October perihelion. If nothing else, the buzz around this comet...
I like this comment here, by the way. I don't know. Scientists are gay. They always use hype and fear-mongering words. Dude, I think that's like part of it where... Because the current system we have to like, I don't know, have some science going on. No, but for real, like the current system isn't it just like they get government funding? And it's like, it kind of coincides real well with the nature of government where, it's why the fucking FBI gets caught doing so much bullshit because it's like the FBI is there to solve problems. And if there's no problems to solve, they're going to lose their funding. So like they're incentivized to make problems. And it's like, a lot of people in these research departments, they're going to get money. They're going to get more money if there's a bigger problem involved in their thing. So like there's part of me that goes like, are these people just incentivized every time they find a fucking meteor to be like, we're going to die, and then that correlates into more money or something? Cuz like you see that a lot with science.
Proves how dynamic the world of science research can be. When I made my first video about 3I Atlas back in July, there were only 4 published research papers naming it. Now, at the time of writing in September, there are nearly 70. That represents a huge number of new discoveries, verifications, and boosts in our collective knowledge about this object. But before I dive into the newest findings, let's do a quick recap of where we left off.
All due respect, this guy's voice stinks.
In my previous video, I discussed the initial discovery of Comet 3I Atlas, named for its status as the 3rd interstellar object to visit our solar system, and the Atlas Survey telescope that identified it. I compared this comet to the famed Oumuamua, which made its way through our solar system in 2017, and Borisov, which was discovered in 2019. In contrast to its 2 interstellar predecessors, 3I Atlas is thought to be much faster, traveling at a whopping speed of 58 kilometers per second, and older, with estimates that it is somewhere between 3 and 11 billion years old. That was a speedy summary, so you should
How do you maybe there's just like high level math I haven't been hip to. How the fuck do you go, what's that, like 11 billion years old? Maybe I just don't know Maybe I just don't know fucking anything. Lou W. Lou Dubs. Science is gay. Go clean the waterways. Stop gazing upon the stars. Dude, honestly, so like, I'm not going to co-sign science is gay, but I do like your energy, Lou. Keep it up. That's what we need right now. But there is a thing where it's like, it's a weird hierarchy. It's a weird hierarchy of like what we need. And it almost feels like, it's like, I don't know, we've been tricked into the most important shit is that the most important shit is that some nerdy kid gets to research the stars. And it's like, I do get along with Lou's sentiment where it's just like, not to do the cliched poll, but I bet you here, let me Google it. Let's see. Does Flint? Oh, but uses filters. Flint's water has met federal safety standards for 8+ consecutive years with lead levels at 8 ppb, well below the. Actually, that's very interesting. More than 10 years later, Flint declares its water safe after replacing lead pipes, but health issues and doubts persist. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate to be this guy, like, because it's kind of a cliched, but I mean, I'm reading an article. Wait, August? Oh, yeah, fuck. We're in October. Shit. We already fucking did August. Oh, my God. But you know what I mean? It's like I'm reading an article from August 4th going like, yeah, their water's safe to clean, but or safe to drink, but there's, not like safe, and there's still problems and da-da-da. And you're like, oh, cool. Anyway, what's going on with these media? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying that shit's not important, but like there's way more things we should be putting money towards than like fucking space. I gotta be honest. Because it's like, it's interesting to think about and it's like interesting to figure problems out. But it's just, there's so many bad things happening right now, man. Like, there's so many bad things. God damn it. I hate when someone like speed likes every one of your fucking IG stories. Because I keep my notifications on in IG to, in case like, people in comedy use IG a lot to like message you and shit. And I keep my notifications on for that, but then you just get bombarded with people. I don't know. You know what the problem is? Like we've been trained that like you're stupid if you talk like this and you have these concerns, but like it's a fair fucking concern. I don't know, man. I got to be honest. Like I think space is important. Lead us, Andy. Tell us what horse to bet on. I don't know if you want that, dude. I don't know if you want that. Are you saying how about we send Flint some a good plate of gabagool? I could go for that. Yeah. How about stop doing the Olympics because it's fucking retarded? Well, no, they work hard. They should get to. I wish there was more. I wish there was more excitement for. All those sports that, once you graduate college and you don't become a personality and you don't get on a Wheaties box, there's like no fucking money for you. I wish those sports did a little bit better in the world. I feel bad because those people should get some money. They work really hard. They should get some money. It's just like, I don't know. There's not like a lot of interest in that. Remake Armageddon where Bruce Willis just constantly forgets. Yeah, that's funny. You see Turning Point is going to have their own halftime show? No. Send me a link to talking about that. The fuck is that about? What they going to do? Giant Death Meter is proof that it's totally worth to max out all your credit cards. What the fuck is that? Yeah, right. What the hell? It's Gay Blind Mike tagging me in. Blind Mike got to be one of my favorite people in the world. To Valhalla. Yeah, you guys are on point today. Just saw it on Instagram. Didn't look any further into it, to be honest. That's fair. I'm playing the stream and not paying attention, but Gabagool solves everything. It's a fair one. You got a quarter whop on here. Loud fat guy. Gabagool mention. That's like, what's that mean? Oh, did I get a little stain on my shirt? Fat guy alert. Woo woo. Big fat retard. Woo. That's the big fat retard alarm. I'm about to get arrested because I'm too big, fat, and retarded. Hell yeah. I'm seeing if there's any more good shit to do. Actually, I've cultivated I have like multiple YouTube channels for all my failed podcasts. And I've cultivated quite a feed on the No More Heroes side of things. There might be something good over there. I should come into these a little bit more prepared. I do acknowledge that. Ooh, oh, this guy's YouTube channel rips. Oh, I love this guy's YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, new panties in an hour. I will stop streaming on the panties YouTube channel in an hour when the new episode premieres. But yeah, have you guys ever heard of the Conspiracy Files? This guy's YouTube channel fucking rips. Yeah. You know what? I talk a lot of shit trying to be like a radio show. And I don't come prepared like a radio show. I like the organic nature of it, but if I like the oh yeah, did you guys see hair reveal? You like it? Got my hair cut. I like the organic nature of conversations to be had, but sometimes when you don't have anything in the holster, anything in the fucking oh yeah, Turning Point halftime show. It's not as good. Oh yeah. Oh, are they reacting to the bad? Oh my god. It's like they just exist to they just exist to be like, yo, can we be as gay as humanly possible? It's you know what it is? It's just like when they hyper fixate on all the like bullshit cultural stuff. And I'll even give them a little bit. Like, you know, it is dumb to be like, oh, Bad Bunny. Why would they? Because I got all love for Bad Bunny. I actually think his music's pretty good. I'm not like you guys know me, I'm not a big like pop music fan like that, but I actually think his music's pretty good for what it is and shit like that. But I actually think his music's pretty good for what it is. He's pretty talented. He does like a good job. He does like a good job at like making fun music that's like still mainstream and shit. Like I listened to his last album, and I'll be honest, like half of it was like kind of club banger pop music bullshit, but the other half of it felt very like, oh, this is like authentic music and shit. So, I mean, way better than Taylor Swift shit that came out. He's speaking Mexican during the game. I will say this. There was a clip like from SNL where, and you know what? The clip wasn't even that bad. Here, wait, let me look it up. Bad Bunny learn to speak Spanish. People were acting like that clip was fucking crazy. Here it is. What? Oh, that's so funny. They're like, oh no, here we go. Let's see if they have the clip. Doja Cat's so fucking hot. I'll let her show feet on any. I'll let her fucking show feet on any message board she wants, dude. With those heavy titties, pull them tootsies out on whatever message board you want, sweetheart. Here, wait. Bad Bunny learns Spanish. Dude, Twitter and like TikTok are way better search engines now than fucking Google. Is this it? Bad Bunny speaks about his. Okay, here we go.
I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío, más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar. And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show for you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not that bad. It's not like in text. Like, don't get me wrong. If you read that in text, it comes off a little cunty, and it is like, it was like, you remember the remember they were doing. Oh, nice. I like being able to like do this. You remember like during they had all those protests, the like anti-ICE protests, and what was it called? Like No More Kings or whatever. They had a lot of those like No More Kings protests, and then you'd see this footage of like them waving Mexican flags. And it is this weird thing where you're like, I mean, you can go like, yeah, there's like, you can go to Mexico. it'd be one thing if there was a flag of like, you know, stop disrespecting us. We're hardworking. We do all the goddamn shit jobs in your fucking country. So stop being fucking cunts. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I got no beef with fucking Spanish people, Mexicans, all of them, Puerto Ricans, all of them. Like so many of them do all the like bullshit work in this country. And it's obviously it's more than that, but like how, like everyone throughout your day, you're gonna, if you go outside and you involve yourself in some sort of bullshit manual labor job, whether it's like working in food or construction or anything, you're probably going to pass some Spanish person that is either, if they're not illegal, they don't know the language very well. And I do think because of that, it's like, you know, it's why people, like, I think like Spanish people have earned, like, they've more than earned their spot in this country. It's just, you know, it's like, yeah, they're, you know, you can't have like unfettered, just everyone coming over the border. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be some like control to it. But I think broadly speaking, you know, Spanish people earn their fucking spot. You know, so I got no beef with that shit. On its face, it comes off like a little cunty, maybe. But even like when you watch the video, it's like it's not that fucking bad. I can't remember what the original point I was. Oh, yeah. That's why it's like, yeah, so if you go back to the No Kings protest when they're just like waving it's one thing to just be like, you know, it's like it's one thing if they were being like, I've earned my spot, fuck you. I may not be a legal citizen, but I work hard and I support my family and I do all this and blah, blah, blah. To that person, I have all the sympathy. It's when they're like proudly waving and I understand a lot of people have much more, you know, there's like, it's not, when they wave the Mexican flag, they're not going like, I love the Mexican government and stuff. No, they're saying I'm proud of being Mexican or whatever, which even on that, we can go off on a whole tangent where it's like, you know, I don't know, it's proud of something you weren't born, but whatever. But it is still funny in the context of like, you know, you have no right to kick us out of this country. Anyway, here's another country's flag. So like when it's like that, I don't have a lot of sympathy for him. But like this, this isn't that big of a fucking deal. It's not that big. This is not, because it's like, I gotta be honest. Like I said, like Spanish people have earned their spot in this country, dude. They fucking there you go. Sorry. I'm just not yeah, Slav gets a little bit of a timeout. You guys know the vibe. Can't catch the vibe, get a timeout. We're doing a lot less discussion and debating on this from now Going forward, we're doing a lot less discussion and debating. Can't catch the vibe. Timeout. But yeah. Oh wait, go back to chat. He speaks great English. He plays dumb to be cute. I don't know. That I do always find as very peculiar. I find that very peculiar. Like, who the fuck was it? Dude, I was at do you guys know the place 99 Ranch? 99. Can I move that over? No, wait. Do a different quadrant. No, this quadrant's fine. No, I was at this place. I don't know if you guys have this grocery store here. Like we had it in they had it in, all right, calm down, anorexic. They stole their spot from a white man. Yeah, I also get it too. Like the government definitely like fucks shit up where, you know, if they didn't like fudge the numbers all the time, if they didn't fudge the if they didn't have all these incentives for people to fucking flood in here from foreign countries mixed with, you know, everything's so fucking expensive, so all these companies left, and you know, it's like, God forbid, as a US citizen you have a higher standard of living, and you know, because everything's so goddamn expensive they can't meet it, yada yada yada. I get it. Like, nothing I say is just clean cut, but I think broadly speaking, I don't have any beef with Spanish people. I think broadly speaking, they've earned their fucking spot. Now, does the government put their hand on the fucking scale? Sure. They also are turning the frogs gay. That is also true. But the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just can't like look people. I just can't fucking like. I had the same thing where when I was in New Jersey, I went to this gym, and like I make jokes all the time on here and stuff, but I went to this gym in New Jersey, which was a shit ton of Muslim people there, shit ton of Indian people, and they were always nice to me, dude. They were always nice to me. You know what it is? It's the I think the real problem, the problem where a lot of this like racist shit arises, where people have these like racist feelings and urges, you see it in Canada a lot, like Canada and England, where it's the fact that yes, it's the Jew double O's S's. Not the problem is, here's the real problem. Because it's like, any reasonable human being doesn't, on like a one-to-one basis, doesn't have a problem with any of these groups. Any reasonable person, like any group you have. We make jokes about Indian people. We've all met an Indian person that's cool as hell. You know what I mean? And we've all met a Muslim person that's cool as hell. We've all met black, white, Mexican, all of them. We've all met every type of person like that that's cool as hell. So it's like, the real problem is when you have these countries and you have like, because like if you look out there, because if you look in Canada and you look in, it's gonna sound super conspiratorial, and I don't know exactly the right terms for it and whatever. So sorry if this comes off bad. But no, there's like, and honestly, a lot of it does have to do with like American foreign policy. And we saw it with, like the border crisis going on, where there's a lot of these like NGOs that help these people move, they sort of immigrate to places in a very inorganic way. Because that's really what it is. It's not about like, it's not about like, well, foreigners can't come here. It's when you get an influx of a different, and this would be true anywhere. You know, French people have their vibe. And if they had a huge influx of Italians, you know what I mean? Like, let's use just white people or perceived white, whatever. I know some people may not call Italians white, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's use white people. So if this ever gets clipped up and people take it out of context, they, you know, it's like we can all be a little less retarded when it's just white people. But just like this would make sense if you did this for any country. Say if you were in France and you had a shit ton of Italians just get flooded in, and it just completely, like, you know, completely like mismatch the vibe of how it used to be. And then on top of that, because you see this shit in, like, I think it's pretty bad in Canada where they had a bunch of people come in and then they just give them a shit ton of money or something. I don't know the details. I could be wrong about parts of that. But you know what I mean? It's like that's the problem. It's the same reason people get justifiably mad about gentrification. You know what I mean? Because it's like the people flooding in, it's not their fault. They're looking for some better shit. But the problem is, like, when you flood in that heavy, you get a new population that is like, well, I'm with all my boys. I'm used to doing it this way. I don't have to assimilate. We're going to do it this way. And then you get the local population who's like, what the fuck? We've been doing it this way forever. And like, now you guys just come in. Now we're trying to do it a different way. That's really what the problem is with the immigration shit. Because it's like any group, if you're in Ireland and Muslim people, because I think that's the big beef right now in Ireland is with like Muslim people or the beef Irish people have is with Muslim people. The real thing with that is just like, if you just had Muslims trickling in and they completely adopted the local customs and fit in like that, no one would give a shit. No one would give a shit. The problem is you have these societies that like, oh, we got this vibe. And then you'll have a group that'll be very extreme to their vibe and they just don't mesh. That's the problem. That's why most people like Mexicans coming in wasn't a beef until people were told they were getting their jobs stolen from them from Mexicans. But there wasn't like the same type of beef because it's like Mexicans showed up and just caught the vibe. That's the problem with fucking immigration. It's like, no, but we've all lived in like, I don't know, because that's what people get fucked up when, like, well, a lot of the progressives get mad when people are mad about quote unquote multiculturalism. And then the progressives get mad because they're the ones who are actually like much more autistically racist. So when you say you don't want multiculturalism, they go, oh, you don't like different races, because they associate those different races with all the different cultures. And, you know, they don't consider that like, you know, like, so they associate it with that. But it's like, dude, if you have a country that's all Christian, it doesn't matter what you look like. You guys all agree on the same rules. So it's like if you have a country that likes Sharia law and then everyone agrees on that, it doesn't matter what you look like. Now, you know, just through human nature, they're going to be racist, more bigoted towards certain groups just out of being ignorant. But broadly, it's like that's what, like, that to me is what like the multicultural shit is. And it's why if you want to do Sharia law, if you want to do any of your religions, vibe out. The problem is when you have multiple predominant ones, there's going to be beef. There's going to be beef. There's going to be problems. You've been killing it today, Lou. Try that in a small town, brother. I mean, that's an insane comment. They want to turn our country into their third world nation. Oh my God. The media just makes these problems larger than they are. I am racist and generalizing. It has gotten to the point where I don't care about the word anymore. Well, they did overuse racist. I had a bean salad for lunch. I'm going to the brewery tonight. I'm building a gas time bomb. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, if you don't like living around other races, just move somewhere else for real. Being racist in metropolitan, what? Metropolitan area is masochism. Yeah, it's really just about assimilation. That's the immigration problem. Anywhere you have anywhere you have something you consider an immigration problem, it's because the new population doesn't want to assimilate with the old population. That's why gentrification, well, besides the rent going up, that's why gentrification's so fucked up. Is because like, oh, you've been living in this neighborhood for 30 years. You guys cultivated a cool vibe you like that you're all used to. And then, a bunch of fucking yuppies move in and completely change it. And it's like the yuppies love the new vibe. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like it's not a matter of who's like good or bad. It's because the yuppies love the vibe. They love that sterile vibe of things. But the original group, who's just like working class people, they're like, no, we like our vibe. And it's like, it's kind of like, well, they were there first, so it's like we're more sympathetic to them. You know what I mean? But the problem is we have it all flipped upside down because the local population is supposed to feel like fucking assholes because the new population's like trying to shift the vibe. And it's like, that was always my thing. It's like, dude, come to America. I want all the cool people here, but you got to be American. You got to act like you got to be an American. You can't, like, it's weird. And I would say this about anyone. It's like if I went to Japan and I didn't want to catch the vibe, why'd you go there then? Why'd you go there then? So it's like if someone's not catching a vibe, you shouldn't have to feel like a fucking asshole for pointing it out. It's this, they drink and smash balls in the street, which is harem, of course. They hang outside schools. They ask young girls to roll them joints and hang out with them. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff about the fellas acting up in England that a lot of people apparently, I don't know a lot about it, but from what I've heard, there's been a lot of problems that a lot of people really don't want to acknowledge because they're like afraid about sounding racist. And it's like, yeah, that's chill. I'll let a bunch of young girls get raped because I don't want to sound racist. All right. Yeah. Imagine being a sick party and they don't stop letting people in. Sooner or later, the party's no longer fun. All the beer's gone. The ratio's all off. Yeah, and a bunch of people who didn't pay for beer is now drinking free beer. You didn't pay for that beer. That's our beer. Yeah, apparently, this is interesting. I live in a small town, Liverpool, close to Liverpool. Migrant hostels in my town. I see them every day. Yeah, I didn't realize this, but apparently they're way more like flagrant and upfront about it in England and shit. I'm surrounded by Mexicans. I see. Well, I didn't say I wanted to live near them. They're not good at volume control. No, just kidding. No, all jokes aside, though, I couldn't. Well, but that's even the thing. I got because if you live in like you see it down here. If you're in a predominantly Mexican neighborhood, they, I prefer the stuffy white neighborhood where, no one would be caught dead playing music after 9. That's my speed. I love a good stuffy white neighborhood. But like I feel like the vibe in a Mexican neighborhood is like, what if we did this all day and then did it way later? Like, I remember where Pat lives. When I was still living there, I it was funny. I walked by and there were these like dudes just slowly. I remember I left for something. This happened to me like there was 2 times where it stood out. Like I left to do something one day, and then I came back. And when I came back, these dudes were like working on a car, drinking Modelo's, just like playing music kind of loud. And I was like watching them. I'm like, that looks like such a fun hang. I would kill myself if that was happening near me on a regular basis. And then I drive by, and then one time I leave, they have like at Pat's place, they have a community pool there. And there was like, and there's apartments right up on the pool. And there was someone hanging out at the pool, and they were just playing loud music. And I left to go do a thing, and then I came back a couple hours later, and they were still by the pool playing loud music. And I'm like, oh, that would be not cool. That would not be cool with me. I'd be like, I couldn't live around that. But you see certain groups, loud music does it, but nope, not me. I grew up stuffy and white. You guys have fun. I grew up stuffy and white in the suburbs. We like it quiet. But that is really what the thing is. It's like catch the vibe. Catch the fucking vibe. And honestly, dude, if we can have areas where everyone can have areas where everyone can vibe out the way they want, and then we can meet up and appreciate if I can meet up with you, appreciate your culture, and then leave and go back to my warm blanket, I like that. Rotham, yeah, rape gangs. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but it's a real thing. What are you guys talking about? So I'm trying to see where the new chat started. Damn. You want to get the chats going? Talk about immigration. Oh, here we go. Christian tradesman. Yeah, right? Sign me up. Yo, Slav, I don't know if you know what we means, dude. Yeah, dude. At least Epstein was fucking chill. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, I'm just reading comments going, what? No, I'm reading comments from 5 minutes ago going, what? Can I deport myself for free travel? Might be able to. I know there's like a lot of other countries that are easy to get into. You could probably also hang out not being a citizen and not have it be a problem for a while. Only indigenous European. Oh, I read that already. All will be Americans. Your bases belongs to us. Look at me. I am the captain now. Are you guys debating the word influx? The Hart-Sellers Immigration Act of 1965 opened the floodgates of blacks and browns, third worlders, beginning the... God damn it, dude. Is that what it's called? Because I hear people mentioning that a lot. Is that what it's called? The there was like an immigration act in the 60s that brought in a lot of people. Like, that's really what it is. You can't have like a unnatural large scale immigration from one country to another without like the local population having some sort of beef with it. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Got a little bit of a right. You guys, it's so funny. You guys were debating the term influx. Oh, that rules. I'm Mexican. I'm tired of them eating all my food, taking all the gerbs, breathing up all the way. Why? Oh, I didn't realize you were Mexican, Cletus. I'm not trying to prove myself right. Okay. Now I will defend Slav slightly on this one. There was I don't know a lot about it, but I have it up over here. There was I've been hearing people talk about it. There was apparently like an immigration act in the 60s that, you know, helped bring in a large number of people into America in a slightly inorganic way. So I will get Slav's back on that. But also, he's probably going to analyze it differently than I had. See, that's always like the good. It's always like the goofy gay justification on shit. It's karma. I mean, well, it's kind of funny you say stuff like that because it's like if you there's like a lot of people. Well, that is kind of something where it's like people get mad about immigration, but they never want to talk about American foreign policy. So I will actually get your back a little bit, Lou. But no, it's like a lot of people want to talk about immigration, but they never want to be like, hey, if the U.S. didn't destabilize all these nations, you wouldn't have anyone wanting to immigrate. You know what I mean? So, and then and then if you go to the 7 countries in 5 years thing, it's like, well, why did they? It's like, damn, Israel, why you guys got to pop up everywhere, dude? I'm smoking Mexican weed playing a Japanese video game, so no, I'm white. That's hilarious. Cletus, you ain't Mexican. Yeah, I'm starting to not believe Cletus is Mexican. Fuck that, man. Either rent a venue and okay the music all you want or keep that shit down. Yeah. I think Colin Terrell had the joke. I want to say it was Colin, but if it wasn't, but I think it was. But anyway, the joke was basically the immigration test should just be like, or wait, what? Fuck. I can't remember exactly what the joke was, but it was something along the lines of, he's like, I'm one of the good immigrants, not the bad immigrants. And he's basically correlating it to, well, there is like, I'm not explaining any of this properly. I apologize. You know what it is? I don't want to fuck it up. And I'm like, I'm like thinking of every scenario about how to tell the story. And there's no way of telling the story without fucking it up because I can't remember it properly. But it is basically making the joke on like, I'm not one of those speakerphone conversations on the train immigrants. And it is, dude, that is like, that I will say this, and I am probably risking some very racist comments in the chat. So please keep your thoughts to yourself. I know you guys are very good at that. But that is a thing where just with humans in general, I was joking with one of my friends where I was like, I would love to be able to do a documentary series where you just come across these people in life and you're like, how do you not know not to do this? So it's like, whatever it might be, just like the music outside thing always finds me always fascinates me. Where it's like, and honestly, music and the speakerphone stuff, not understanding like volume is an interesting thing for me. How people just don't see outside of that. I think there's a thing that happens with certain people where they comprehend it as like, well, this is perfect for me. So if this is good for me, how would it be bad for something else? Because you got to imagine, like I was saying before, the dudes working on their car. You see the dudes working on their car. That's a fun fucking day, dude. That's a fun fucking day where they're like chilling. They're working on the car. Nothing better than doing a hard job slowly. Pause. Nothing better in this world than like doing some shit like fixing your car very slowly throughout the day. So it's like you do that, and then you mix that with a couple Modelo's and your boys, and then you got your favorite tunes at a solid volume, loud but still conversationally at a conversational level. That's a good fucking time. And I just think there's sometimes with certain people, you're in that mode and you can't think outside of your good time. And it's the same thing with like talking on the cell phone. Sometimes it's more convenient to be like speakerphone or FaceTiming or something like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I think certain people are unable to think outside that good time they have. But like that should really be like, we should have a separate country for people who can't control the volume of their music. I think that would be nice. And I know people are going to run with that. And I know what you're going to say. And I don't mean that. Don't be jerks. Damn. You guys are getting spicy in the chat. All right, let's change the subject. There have been too many dude, we're having a full blown race war in the chat. All right. I can't read all these comments. All right. We got to move on to something calmer. Oh, we can talk about the Charlie Kirk assassination. That might be a good time. Podcast. Panty starts in 30 minutes. No, he talks about what the inspectors in Britain are clearly paid. So many houses getting passed that are completely fucked. I mean, I don't know one thing about it, but I'm not going to act like I'm surprised. All right, let's see what this guy's got to say. No, that one's not fun. I do want to watch this later, but that one's not fun. Yo, give me a good explainer video. We got to keep the boys locked in for the next 30 minutes. Give me a good explainer video. Love an explainer. Oh, I know my. Oh, let's see what my guy 5149 be doing. He's been fucking. Yeah, dude. James Lee? This guy been going buck wild. This dude rips if you guys don't fucking watch his shit. He's been going buck wild with this assassination stuff.
The question shouldn't be, why do you believe in conspiracy theories? The real question should be,
Do I listen to Garza Cast? He's a guitarist from Suicide. Yeah, I'm very aware of it. I don't. I'm big into like I'll watch a lot of his clips and stuff on like social media and YouTube, but I don't listen to the full podcast because I don't like deathcore enough to listen to a full podcast about it every week. But I have seen clips from the Suicide Silence podcast. They seem like super chill dudes. Rile them up, Red. I will. Damn. It's crazy how fucking racist you guys can get very quickly. You guys are fun.
Why does the official story keep asking us to believe in miracles?
TPUSA spokesperson Andrew Colvett, and he wanted to post this. He said he spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital, and they were talking about the exit wound. So Colvett was saying that there was no exit wound. We are still waiting to confirm this with the hospital, but he said he spoke with the surgeon who worked on Charlie. He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, but it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. He said, quote, "It was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed."
It was an absolute miracle. Charlie Kirk, tragically slain at Utah Valley University on September 10th by a disturbed lone gunman named Tyler Robinson, charged without photo evidence, supposedly using an untraceable vintage .30-06 Mauser to fire the fatal shot, no ballistics match, no exit wound for a bullet most experts say is powerful enough to blast through elk. But in this case, the bullet just supposedly stops cold because Charlie Kirk had, quote, man of steel bones. That is the narrative that we are told to believe. Now, layer on top of that, a mysterious decoy in the crowd, and a crime scene that is immediately tampered with, and also critical areas being torn down, rebuilt, or altered in a matter of days. So at this point, they've basically given us two options. We can either A, ignore common sense, suspend physics, and also believe in a miracle, or B, we can maybe look at the evidence and we can observe patterns. And for those noticers out there, the pattern here is, for some reason, the official narrative of every famous assassination in the 20th century, JFK, RFK, MLK, somehow all include a magic bullet theory. Let's get into it. Here are the facts as laid out by the Warren Commission. On November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy rode in an open-top motorcade through Daley Plaza in Dallas, Texas. At 12:30 p.m., 3 shots were fired in quick succession in roughly 6 seconds. The first shot, they say, missed the car entirely. The second shot struck Kennedy in the upper back, then exited through his throat, then struck Governor John Connally, who was sat directly ahead of him, breaking a rib, shattering his wrist, and lodging into his thigh. The third shot was the fatal headshot. The perpetrator, the commission concluded, was a man named Lee Harvey Oswald, acting alone, who fired all 3 shots from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building using a 6.5 Mannlicher Carcano rifle. Commission Exhibit 399, this lone miracle bullet, was said to have caused 7 wounds in 2 men and was later found just on a stretcher at Parkland Hospital in nearly pristine condition with almost no deformation. There's just one problem with this: physics. According to the government's single bullet theory, the bullet supposedly hit Kennedy's back on a downward trajectory, exited through his throat, at which point it would have had to stop in midair, take a right turn, hit Governor Connally, then take a left turn in order to hit Connally again. Any normal person would go, maybe there was a second shooter? And if that wasn't strange enough, the presidential limousine, the crime scene itself, was clean, stripped, and reupholstered within days, before a full forensic examination could even be completed. Key autopsy evidence also later vanished, with Kennedy's brain and tissue slides mysteriously going missing from the National Archives, along with original autopsy notes that the lead pathologist admitted he burned. So not only do we have a bullet that defied physics, we also have a cleanup job that defied protocol and conveniently made sure that no one could ever go back and double check the story. Did something like that happen recently? Let's keep going. Just after midnight on June 5th, 1968, Senator Robert F. Kennedy finishes his California primary speech at Los Angeles' Ambassador Hotel. He then heads through the kitchen pantry towards a press room. Suddenly, 8 shots erupt in roughly 5 seconds. This is what they tell us, and that Kennedy is hit 3 times, 1 in the armpit, in the back, and also behind the right ear, which proves fatal. The police then tackle a man named Sirhan, a 24-year-old Palestinian immigrant who we were told had been standing in front of Kennedy, arm extended, firing a .22 caliber Iver Johnson revolver that holds exactly 8 rounds. Very important, 8 rounds.